Yes, you are.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Happy morning. Let me hear some voice.
Happy morning.
Okay. Okay, there you go. Happy morning. Hi, everyone. My name is Shauki Zwakar Kiswara. You can call me Shauki Zwakar Kiswara for short. Oh, wait, it's already long. It's Shauki. And I am the SAA for tonight's meeting. So basically, I am the one who's going to tell you the rules that you need to follow in our meeting. First is, of course, to be on time. And I would like to congratulate everyone who is attending the meeting right now because you are on time and we really appreciate it. And I also appreciated a lot of people who attend the meeting before 7 p.m. So thank you for that. Second is, of course, identify yourself properly. If you are a visiting Toastmaster, please rename yourself based on the format on the screen, which is VTM, Visiting Toastmaster, your name and your club of origin. And if you're a guest or a non-Toastmaster member, you can rename yourself as G, which is guest, and then your name. Third is something that we really appreciate it. If you can, please turn on your camera so we can see all of your beautiful faces. Because again, we as speaker will be more motivated to see your face also because we know that you guys are also listening to our speech. So it will really, really be appreciated if you guys can turn on your cameras. Fourth, if it's not your turn to speak, please mute your microphone because it will distract other speakers when they're speaking. But if it's already your turn to speak, please unmute your microphone. And of course, five is fully present and enjoy the meeting. What better way to basically learn something, but also having fun at the same time? So be fully present and enjoy the meeting. So that's all for me. I would like to give the control back to our lovely president, Toastmaster Garda. Toastmaster Garda, please, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shauki, for the introduction. And now with the power vested in me, I hereby open this meeting by clapping my hand once. That is out, and everyone, please unmute yourself and repeat after me. Happy morning!
Happy morning!
Morning.
Happy
Happy
morning!
morning.
Happy morning!
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your happy morning spirit. For those of you who are being first timer in any SCBD Toastmasters meeting, maybe you are wondering why morning? Because it's evening here in Jakarta, Indonesia. Basically, happy morning is sort of the morning spirit that we always try to implement and maintain in SCBD Toastmasters. As if that when we wake up in the morning, obviously you want to start your day with such a happy mind, fresh spirit, and that is exactly the same spirit that we'd like to uphold in SCBD Toastmasters. My name is Garda, currently serving as the president of SCBD Toastmasters Club. Thank you for those of you who are our recurring guests and visiting members from other clubs. And for those of you who are being the first timer in any Toastmasters club, including here in SCBD Toastmasters, on behalf of SCBD Toastmasters, I would like to extend our warmest welcome to you. And I hope that your participation in today's meeting will be fruitful and be beneficial for you in the near future. And if you are being curious what Toastmasters International as well as SCBD Toastmasters is, allow me to explain a little bit about Toastmasters International, including our club, SCBD Toastmasters Club. But in the meantime, just sit back, relax, and welcome to SCBD Toastmasters. So talking about Toastmasters International, it is actually a non-profit educational organization that has been almost a century old, where it teaches public speaking and leadership skills. And by being a member in Toastmasters International, you will be connected to hundreds of members across hundreds of countries, amongst thousands of clubs around the globe. Someone asked what would be the benefits of joining Toastmasters. One of the highlights that I can provide you or inform you is that we have this educational curriculum, so it's called Pathways. Imagine that you are being a student and you are familiar with the subject of mathematics, science, social studies. These curriculums are exactly the similar thing that we have in Toastmasters, but in here, this curriculum serves something that can enhance your public speaking and leadership skills. Not only that, Perhaps in your workplace, you would need sort of the skill when you want to be a master in presenting your work. We have the path of presentation mastery that might be suitable and be beneficial for your journey as an individual wherever you are. For more information regarding these pathways, feel free to contact our club officers and we will assist you with regard to your inquiry. Talking about SCBD Toastmasters, we are under an affiliation of Toastmasters International, and now we are 16 years old already. Prior to pandemic, we always had a physical meeting in SCBD area in South Jakarta, but due to pandemic, we are shifting our offline meeting to this online meeting until further notice. And this year, SCBD Toastmasters has a vision of providing a platform where everyone can become a better you. How to achieve that? Simply by empowering every individual to strive for progress. By instilling the values of being structured, collaborative, bold, and determined, SCBD Toastmasters is determined to provide this platform where everyone can become a better you by striving for progress. We always have our regular meeting every Friday evening from 7 to 9 p.m. Jakarta time. And for more information, you can visit our Instagram. Don't forget to follow at scbd.toastmasters. There's a link provided in our Instagram bio. You may click chat VP of membership, Toastmaster Melanie, and you will be directed to her so that we can address your inquiry accordingly. And now, I would like to also extend a fruitful moment that we are going to have an induction ceremony for our 2 newest members. Please join me to welcome our newest members in SCBD Toastmasters. Please welcome Toastmaster William and Toastmaster Agus. Yay! Unmute yourself, guys.
Hey, congratulations.
Hey, welcome.
Welcome.
Master William, Toastmaster Agus.
I'll do it later
There you
after
go.
Welcome
they're
aboard,
being inducted.
Toastmaster William. Bagus.
Woohoo! Yes,
Welcome.
sir.
Yes, welcome Toastmaster
Yes,
Agus
sir.
and Toastmaster William. And now for both of you, please repeat after me as part of this induction ceremony. I, in the presence of my fellow members of SCBD Toastmasters Club, make this firm obligation
I, in the presence of my
of
fellow members
of the SCBD Toastmasters Club, make
make
firm
this firm
obligation
obligation
to attend meetings regularly and prepare completely for each assignment,
to attend meetings regularly and prepare completely for each assignment,
to apply myself to the projects outlined in the Toastmasters educational program,
to apply myself
to the project outlined in the Toastmasters educational program,
to actively participate in club activities,
to
to actively
participate
participate in club activities,
to provide a constructive evaluation and feedback in a positive manner,
to provide
to provide a constructive evaluation and feedback in a positive manner,
to build an open, supportive, and empowering relationship with fellow members,
to
build an open, supportive, and empowering relationship with fellow members,
and to encourage prospective members for joining the club, enhancing their skills, experiencing the utmost benefits, and striving for progress.
and to encourage prospective members for joining the club, enhancing their skills, experiencing the utmost benefits, and striving for progress.
Thank you, Toastmaster Agus and Toastmaster William. And now I'd like to ask fellow SCBD Toastmasters members to answer the following question. And please unmute yourself to answer this. Will you solemnly swear to provide our newest members a safe and supportive place and help them strive for progress and become a better individual?
We will.
Yes, sir.
Please swear to provide our newest
Swipe
members
right.
a safe and supportive place and help them strive for progress to become a higher individual.
Become a better individual.
Thank you. And yes, I will. Thank you so much for all SCBD members. And once again, let's give a warm welcome and a round of applause to Toastmaster Agus and Toastmaster William. Welcome,
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club.
And now this is a call for everyone out there, including our guests. This is the moment when you also being welcome in any platform that can help you for striving for progress. Thank you so much. And I think that is all. Thank you, Toastmaster Agus. Thank you, Toastmaster William. And now I would like to give the control to the host of this meeting, also is called as Toastmaster of the meeting. Toastmaster Vika, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Garda. Happy morning, everyone.
Happy
Morning.
Woo! Thank you, everyone, for coming for today. So I'm really happy today because we have so many participants, 28. Thank you for coming. I hope that you had a very enjoyable week, and let's enjoy our weekend. Before that, let's enjoy our meeting tonight. So before that, I would like to mention about, sorry, there is a distraction behind me. Hope it's okay. Okay, so for topic for today, it's how to craft and deliver an effective evaluation. And for the word of the day is exemplary, which means serving as a desirable model representing the best of its kind. And now I would like to invite our Madam of GE, Miss Hani. Could you please intro your team? I
Okay,
give the control to you.
Okay, thank you, our Miss Tom tonight, Toastmaster Vika. Let me share my screen. Is that my screen is visible?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, happy morning, everyone. Here tonight I will be the general evaluator, and I will not be alone because I have my super team. Here we are, I call it our bro from SCBD Toastmaster. First, we'll introduce our grammarian is Toastmaster Wira. Could you please introduce your roles tonight, Toastmaster Wira?
Okay. Thank you, GE.
Yes.
Happy morning, everybody. My name is Wiratama Wirananda, and I will be your grammarian for tonight's meeting. What's my job? Well, my job is I'm just going to evaluate every speaker if there's a grammatical hiccup or if one of those speakers make a very remarkable quote. At the end of the meeting, or at least at the evaluation part of the meeting, I will highlight it. So if, for example, there's certain words, but I won't mention who said it, but yeah, I will mention there's a grammatical hiccup, or probably speaker A has made this beautiful quote. That's all from me. Back to GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Wira. So everyone, remember that Toastmaster Wira will not the quotes and other any mistake in related our grammar. So let's learn together from Toastmaster Wira again. And the next I have the second is Toastmaster Agus. He is the first time as a debut. As WOD
Thank you
concert.
very much for your interest. Yeah, Father. So sometimes when you are trying to remember part of your speech or thinking about what to say next, you subconsciously make an unintentional fillers, such as filler words, filler pauses, filler sounds. So, but you know, sometimes you are also not aware of that, which is why we in every meeting we have an R counter to help you keep track of those fillers and realize your usage of those fillers. So as your and WOD counter today, I will take note, I will pay attention first, and then I will take note of how many times you are making filler sounds such as and also filler words such as, you know, so well, so yeah, And also I will notice if you are making long pauses. But on a positive note, as your WOD counter, I will record your mention of word of the day, which is exemplary. So make sure that you are pronouncing it correctly and using it in your sentences with clear purpose, rather than arbitrarily mentioning it like maybe 3 times, like exemplary, exemplary, exemplary. I will not count that. Okay, so that concludes my explanation for today. I will be back to you again when called upon during evaluation session to give you or to present to you my result of the observation throughout this meeting. So back to you, Toastmaster Hani.
Thank you, Toastmaster Agus. So remember, the word of the day today is exemplary, and Toastmaster Agus will count it by the end of evaluation session. And the third is our timer is Toastmaster Yanda. Toastmaster Yanda, could you please introduce your role tonight?
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Hani. Hi, everyone, my fellow Toastmaster and guests. My name is Wianda Rais, and tonight I will play the role as a timer. And my task is to time every speech that will be delivered by speakers, including also evaluators. So I will change my background after the speakers. For prepared speech, the speaker, when they reach the 5 minutes, I will change my background into green. And then when they reach the 6 minute, I will change my background into yellow. And then after the 7 minute, the speaker should wrap up the speech, and I will change my background into red. Also, for the evaluation session, the speaker should note that I will change my background into green after they reach the 2 minutes. And then by 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will change my background into yellow. And after that, after 3 minutes, the speaker should be aware that I will change my background into red, and they should wrap up their speech as soon as possible. I think that's all for me. That's my role for tonight as a timer. Thank you, Toastmaster Hani. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yanda. So everyone, please notice the Toastmaster Yanda screen regarding related you during your speech, and notice your time. You have a time limit. And the last is I have my team is Toastmaster Andika as a ballot counter tonight. Toastmaster Andika, could you please introduce your roles tonight?
Thank you, GE. Fellow Toastmaster and guests, in every Toastmasters meeting, we strive for progress, and every effort deserves a recognition. Therefore, tonight I will be your ballot counter, and as a ballot counter, I will create polls from easy polls. So after the speakers, they deliver their speech, I will copy the link in the chat box, and at each ballot cast, you will be going to vote for the for the most favorite prepared speakers and also the best speech evaluators. So please exercise your right to encourage the speakers by voting for them. So by the end of the meeting, we will have a Hall of Fame for the most favorite speakers. So I can't wait to hear your amazing speeches, everyone. Back to you, G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Andika. So remember that after Toastmaster Andika put the link in the chat box, and you have a choice to vote. I think there are from my team, and I will introduce my roles is as general evaluator tonight. During the meeting, I will be there are the evaluation in the meeting, and evaluation for all of our role takers tonight. So I will select to all of the speakers tonight, and I will select for my team as a role takers tonight. I think there is not for me. Back to you, Tom.
Okay, thank you, Madam GE Toastmaster Hani. So thank you to introduction your team. And now, without further ado, let's start with our first speaker. But I won't be the first to introduction them. So I would like to invite our first evaluator, Toastmaster Alvin. Hi, Toastmaster Alvin.
Hi, Toastmaster Vika.
Yep, happy morning. Could you please let us know who is the first speaker and what is the topic?
Of course. Happy morning, everyone.
Morning happy.
Morning happy. Thank you. Yoo-hoo. Okay, thank you, everyone. Who is the speaker tonight? The first speaker tonight is Toastmaster Adam. Toastmaster Adam will deliver his level 1 project 2A, which is evaluation and feedback. The purpose of this project is for members to deliver a speech, receive feedback, then apply it on the second speech. The project will be about 5 to 7 minutes. What will he talk about? Toastmaster Adam will talk about delayed gratification. Delayed gratification, Toastmaster Adam.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Alvin. Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
You are.
Okay. In the 1960s, hundreds of children around 4 and 5 years old were involved in an experiment that really matters for psychological studies. The experiment started by bringing each child to a private room and sitting them down on a chair and placing a marshmallow on the table in front of them. And at this point, the researcher offered a deal to each child. So the researcher told the child that he was going to leave the room. And if the child did not eat the first marshmallow, they will be rewarded by a second marshmallow. But if they ate the first marshmallow, they will not rewarded by second marshmallow. So the choice was really simple. One delicious marshmallow right now, or second delicious marshmallow later. So the researcher left the room for 15 minutes. The footage of the children waiting in the room alone was really entertaining. Some kids ate the marshmallow as soon as the researcher closed the door. Some others wiggled in their chairs to restrain themselves, but eventually ate the marshmallow second minutes later, and some others did manage to wait entire time and got the second marshmallow. And the experiment didn't stop there. As the children grows up, the researcher followed up the studies for over 40 years and track each child progress in several areas. And what they found was surprising. The children who were willing to delay gratification and wait for the second marshmallow have had a better grades, better responses to stress, better social skills, and generally better in some aspects in life. So from the experiment, we can sum up that they who can wait for a second marshmallow will succeed. In other words, we can sum up that the ability to delay gratification was critical in order to be success in life. And if we take a look around, it's actually proven. If we delay gratification to scrolling Instagram feeds and read books instead, we learn more. If we delay gratification of snoozing alarms and wake up early, we will be healthier and get more things done. And if we manage to delay gratification of buying things we don't even need and invest instead, will be, yeah, you know. And how do we apply this in our life? Fortunately, we don't have to buy a pack of marshmallow and put it on a table in front of us. And yeah, we don't have to, really. We don't have to. And if you insist to do it, trust me, we don't have to. What we have to remember is that delayed gratification is a skill. And like other skills, we can learn it. We can train it. For me, it's social media. It's Instagram. So as you know, Instagram is really tempting and it could relieve our stress. But once we open it, it's hard for us to stop scrolling. Looking at our friends' stories, feeds, and now they have reels. So I trained myself not to open social media as I could in a work hour. It's pretty hard actually, but I know it pays off. After that, I realized that my productivity started increasing. I have a better focus, and besides that, I have free time to do other things. Well, sometimes I did open social media back, but as I remember that it's really worth it to delay gratification, I don't do it much often than I used to. And so I imagine the result by delay only one gratification is huge. What if I apply this in other aspects in my life? But I'm not in a hurry. I start small and make it into habit. And after that, I'll try this in other aspects in my life. So the ability to delay gratification for us in order to be succeed, and lucky for us, we can learn it for the sake of our success. And to close my speech, I want to ask you guys one simple question. What gratification you are willing to delay in order to be a better you? Thank you.
Wow, that's really great. Everyone, can you please unmute yourself and give a big applause to Toastmaster Adam?
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Adam.
Okay. Oh, it's like a slap on my face when you say that, okay, Vika, stop playing with your Instagram and focus on your work. It's like, I heard it like that. But one thing that I love joining SCBD Toastmaster, I don't know whether you guys are facing the same like me, like why I choose it's a Friday night, because it's like delaying my, I can say it's like hanging out with my friends and joining this Toastmaster. It's more useful, right? It's delaying the gratification of hanging out with friends. Okay, I just know that it's a hanging out with delaying a gratification. Okay, I think that I would like to invite Toastmaster Yanda tell us the time. So is it Toastmaster Adam is eligible? But okay.
Yes.
I think that, yeah.
Should we wait for or just say mention right now?
Okay, I think that just because of today is only one speaker, I think that it's automatically right that Toastmaster Adam will be the best speaker today. Congratulations to Toastmaster Adam. Okay, so let's move on to the next stage. We will start with speaker from Toastmaster. I would like to welcome Toastmaster Amelia. She is a trainer and founder of Upgrade Learning Center. She is a passionate learner and teacher who loves traveling and trying new things. She's been in Toastmaster for more than 5 years, where she has accomplished competent communicator and also competent leader awards, as well as dynamic leadership and persuasive influence proficient. She was also the past Area 2 Director of Division G. Okay, without further ado, let's welcome Toastmaster Amelia. Hello, Toastmaster Amelia. Are you ready?
Hi, Toastmaster Vika. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet all of SCBD friends.
Okay, now the screen is yours, Toastmaster Amelia.
All right, thank you. So I have 20 minutes. May I know the signals for the timing? 15 for green?
15 for green, 18 for yellow, and 20 red.
Okay, thank you. I just want to give you such a disclaimer. Since I'm a teacher and I used to teach for 1.5 hours, I literally need someone to remind me that I run out my time, or else I will just continue. Okay, so may I get a permission to share my screen? So before we start, I would like to ask all of you here from 1 to 10, let's say 1 is super easy and 10 it's super hard. What do you think about delivering an evaluation speech for yourself? From 1 to 10, write your answer in the chat box. Okay, 8, 9. Oh, hi, Alvin. I'm a teacher too. 1, 5. Okay, 10. Oh, I will invite those who answer 1 to help me to deliver an additional edu session here then. All right. So I think each of us, I don't know, for me, myself, almost around all of the type of speeches in Toastmasters, I kind of find that evaluation will be the hardest among table topics and also prepare speech. Since you need to give value to the speakers, and you also have to give useful suggestions for them. But let's see, I believe that everyone here has their own experience and also knowledge that we can share and learn from each other. So I will share from my side, from my part, but I believe everyone here can also add. So don't be hesitate to also add your opinions or knowledge that you have or experience that you have in the chat box so we can learn from each other. So our topic today is how to craft and deliver an effective evaluation. Just to give you an outline, so what we're going to discuss today, so there will be 3 or 4 parts, I guess only 3 that I can manage to make. The first is the principles of the evaluation first, and then the second, how to craft an evaluation, and just like our title today, how to deliver an evaluation speech. And we have, if we have time, and we can go to tips and tricks. First of all, the principles of an evaluation. I know that some of you probably think evaluation is one of the most difficult speech that we have to deliver in the Toastmaster meetings. But let me share you this principle so it can help you to be more confident and help you to see that evaluation itself is actually a gift that we can give to other people. First, the purpose of evaluation. What is the purpose of evaluation in Toastmaster speech? If in a regular meeting, we know that we should evaluate the speaker based on the objective of the project itself. So for me, the first purpose of the evaluation is to see whether the speakers met the objective from the speech or not. And the second is to identify the area of excellence, to identify the area of improvement, and also to give valuable inputs and suggestions. At the end, we also want to motivate, encourage, and challenge the speakers. So no matter how good your evaluation is, if the listener or the speaker didn't want to apply it, then we cannot say that our evaluation is effective. When we say that evaluation is effective, it means the speaker can accept it and also can apply it in their next speech. And in order to do that, of course, you have to be motivating, encouraging, and really supporting to the speaker itself. So it's basically, it's not about you. It's not about the evaluator. It's actually about the speaker. It's about how can we help the speaker. So this is the mindset that we have to put in our mind first before we give an evaluation or an evaluation speech. First, our purpose is to give value. So you are not there to criticize, to judge, to see whether they pass or not. But our purpose, our ultimate purpose, is to give value, to give suggestion, to give something, a gift to the speaker. Therefore, if you later on craft your own speech, your evaluation speech, make sure that you give constructive and concrete suggestion for them. So it can be really valuable for them. Imagine yourself as a speaker. What kind of evaluation that you want to get from your evaluator? So just do the same thing. The second, our intention is to help. So it's not a stage for you to, I know a lot of things. I can deliver such a great evaluation. I know a lot of aspect about speech crafting and you want to show off. No, our intention is to help the speaker to grow. Therefore, I know that some of the evaluators, they even, give beyond the meeting itself. They contact the speaker before the meeting. They also even call the speaker after the meeting just to give valuable inputs, just to help the speaker to apply the feedback that were given in the meeting. And the third, our evaluation is suggestion, not an obligation. Therefore, sometimes you will notice that almost all evaluator in Toastmaster, they will not say you have to. This is the thing that you have to do. I think it would, so most of the evaluator will use words like, I suggest, in my opinion, I think it will be better, because, everyone has their own speaking style, they have own style. Sometimes I myself, if I saw myself, I'm more into like a lecturer style because I'm a teacher. But I know that some of my friends are very good in delivering a speech, have a very good facial expression, intonation, and pace. And yet it's fine because each of us has our own style. Therefore, our evaluation is suggestion for them. I think if I were you, I will do thing like this. I think it will be better because I'm listening to your speech. I think it would be better if you put a story. So it's more like suggestions, not obligation. And do it with candor. It means you're honest, you're open, but still in a great and positive manners. Because again, the purpose is we want the speaker to receive, to accept it, and to apply. Imagine you give honest feedback, but brutally honest, and you didn't know this speaker before. Do you think he or she will apply your feedback? That's the big questions. If not, then what for we give the evaluation? So that will be the first part that I want to share to all of you. If you want to add any other, kind of mindset or principles that you want to put your hat first before you give evaluation, please don't be hesitate to share in the chat box as well. And the second, the two big parts that we're going to cover today is crafting and delivering. That will be two different things, but of course, in order to be a good speaker, you have to be good in both crafting and also delivering. Crafting, I put there, be specific and helpful. So that will be our keyword, be specific and helpful. So there were some parts that I will cover in this part. First is the speech objective. Remember that the purpose of evaluation, especially in the regular meeting, is for us to help the speaker to see whether they met the objective from their speech or not. So what is the speech objective? If the speaker is delivering a project from Toastmasters, from the pathways, you know that every project has their own objective. And your job, it's actually not only to see how they deliver the project and how they craft the project, but whether they meet the objective itself or not. So for examples, today, our first speaker is about evaluation and feedback. So whether they apply the evaluation or feedback, that will be the goal. Another project will be research and presenting. So you will check on whether the speakers use a data and evidence, a research-based speech or not. So what is the project objective? As an evaluator, you have to know it first. Therefore, ask for the evaluation form before the meeting. And the second, what is the speech objective? So the speech also has their own objective. Again, examples, our first speaker, delayed gratification. It's to encourage the speakers to, put on hold instant gratification and instead practicing self-control, resilience, and so on. So that will be the speech objective. So there is project objective and there is also speech objective. You will not know the speech objective. Not all speaker will mention it in front, but after you listen to the speech, you will know what is actually the objective of this speech. and whether the speaker meet this objective or not. And for some speakers, sometimes they also have their own personal goal. So I've evaluate a seasoned Toastmaster. I think she crafted the speech beautifully. She also can deliver it nicely. So when I evaluate her, I will ask what sides or what aspect of your speech that you want me to evaluate. What is your personal goal when you deliver this objective? So when you deliver this speech, so I will ask their personal objective. So we also can do that, especially if you think the speaker is a seasoned speaker. So that was the thing that you probably want to know first before you craft your evaluation. And the second, of course, there are three that I will cover. It's speech organization and delivery, and also the language. The first is speech organization. I think this one is the easiest to catch when you listen to a speech. You directly will see whether the speaker opened the speech, properly or not, whether the speaker hooked the attention of the audience or not. So how about the opening? Whether he can use or she can use questions, quotes, story, or showing an object, or do something, or throw jokes to open the speech. So this will be the first thing that you notice when the speaker start their speech. And the second part, of course, you need to see the body itself. So I think most of you also know about these 3 points. The three is the magic numbers. So not more than 3 points. And then if it's a story, whether it has a dynamics of the story itself, whether you feel your emotion aroused, like going up and down from the story, did you feel it or not? If is it, for examples, like a tutorial, is it put in a logical manner? Is it a chronological in it? You put it in the chronologically good and easy to understand? Or is it a problem and solution type of content? So what type of content of the speech itself? If you listen to the speakers, so what is the content of the speech? Is it about a story, or is it 3 points like what, how, and why? And then whether is it a problem and solution type of content. So you see that, and whether it achieved its purpose or not. And the third part will be the closing. Does it serve its purpose? Again, sometimes people also, put the conclusion again in the end of the speech. For example, if the purpose of the speech is to inspire an action, then probably the speaker will ask something, a call to action to close the meeting, to close the speech. Like, again, our first speaker, sorry, I use you a lot as examples, just because your speech is fresh in our mind. You close the speech by asking, so what is the thing that you want to delete in order to become a better you? So it's a questions, but also a call to action. It forces us to think, to really accept your speech and then think for ourselves. So whether is it an information, or whether is it an to inspire, and how memorable the closing, how strong the closing was. So that will be the part that you also will see from a speech organization. And the last is the logical flow of the opening, body, and the closing itself. Whether it's in a logical order, rational, how about the transition between the first and the second and the third point? Okay, so whether you can see the point that they make. Since I'm a teacher, I really pay attention to a logical flow. So most of my assignment at the school is to write. So when I check on my students' work, I always see how they build their arguments, how they build the logical flow of their writing, whether it's logical or not. For example, just the simplest way, if you have why, what, and how, which one you're going to put first? Is it how first, or what first, or why first? Because it matters. What is the first point that you will put? What is the second point that you will put, and so on. So again, it will depend on the type of the content itself. If it's a problem and solutions, you will see whether, oh yeah, the speaker served the problem first, and at the end, he bring us to find out the solution. Or if it's like a tutorial, they also open it in a logical manner. So that will be the part that you also want to see. So it's not only my suggestion, you're not only, oh yeah, you put a good opening because you throw up questions, but also see whether it serves its purpose, whether the opening or the question related with the body. Oh yeah, you put a quotes as a closing, which is a very good quotes and a powerful quotes. But you not only see the quotes, but you see whether the quotes really wrap up the speech itself, related with the body, related with the purpose of the speech. So that's what you see. So not only like a checklist, not only like, okay, good opening, okay, good content, okay, good closing. Not only that, but you also assess the quality of the opening, body, and the closing itself. So that will be the speech organization. The second is the language. I will say that this is not my expertise, but probably our grammarian can also add on this part. So for the language part, I love something that is simple, short, easy to understand, avoid jargon. So whether it's easy to understand or not, if it's about text, whether the speakers use words that easy to understand by the audience. If it's about medical term, it's about health, whether the speaker use terminology that is easy to understand by the audience. The second, rhetorical devices. Some of you are already familiar with this. These using a simile, metaphor, analogy. It also will, make your speech become exemplary. It's really increase the quality of the speech itself. Life is like a battlefield. Or life is a battlefield. Life is like a battlefield. You must fight in order to get what you want. So how they use this in their body or in their opening or in their closing? They use this kind of rhetorical devices. Alliteration, SpongeBob SquarePants. So alliteration, same, head in all the words. SpongeBob SquarePants. Purpose, preparation, practice. Peter Parker. Whereas Coca-Cola. So it's nice in our ears. It sounds nice in our ears. It also the usage of the language itself. Or triads. Basically, it's a collection of 3. Qualities of leadership, this is the examples. Qualities of leaderships are lead up, lead down, and lead in. So it's easier to memorize. So using 3 points, can be 3 words, can be 3 points, can be 3 sentences, can be 3 paragraphs, but it's collection of 3. So how they use this in your speech? If they use this, it will be good if you also emphasize when you do evaluation. I noticed you use 3 points, you use alliteration, which is easier to remember by the audience. So that will be the area of language. Again, I will ask the grammarian to add part on this session. And the other part that we can also see when we craft our evaluation that you want to also write down in your evaluation speech is to see the speech delivery itself. How about the body language of the speakers, the movement? Especially in the online, sometimes small movement can matters. In the big stage, when you do an on-site or face-to-face, you speak in the stage, you move from the left to the right, you have to have a stage management. But it's kind of different in online setting. Even a small movement can be a distraction. So how you can see or assess this movement from the speakers? How about their facial expression? Is it matched with the emotion that the speaker try to build from the speech? How about the eye contact? Second part will be the gestures, how they use the hand gestures to express the ideas. 1, 2, 3, for examples like that. How they use the hand gesture to emphasize the content of the speech. Focal variety, the pace, pitch, intonation, the volume, how they use this to build the emotions. And probably the last I also like to highlight this part is the pauses, whether the speaker use intentional pauses or unintentional pauses that will distract us from the speech. So this is the aspect that we can see when we craft our evaluation. My suggestion for you will be to put all these kind of things in a paper, and while you are listening, you're not like a teacher that put a checklist on your paper, but if you catch something that you think, wow, this is really good, then you can know what aspect is that you can also put in later on in your evaluation. The third part will be the delivering the evaluation itself. I put it there as well. Be the examples of your own evaluation. So this is the part that for me it's quite hard, because when I ask other people to speak slower, for examples, I notice that I also speak so fast. So if I play with intonation in your speech as my evaluation, I realize that I also need to use that when I deliver my evaluation. So make sure you be example of your own evaluation. Again, there will be three parts that I'll cover: how to organize, how to see the organization, the delivery, and also the language. The organization itself, your evaluation is also a speech. So I will suggest you also open it strong. So open your evaluation strong. You can use part of the speech that the speaker has said, or you can start, I myself, I like to start with the objective of the project. That, for example, you can use quotes, you can use questions, you can use objects. It's up to you, but make sure it's also related with the speech that you evaluated, or related with the speech with the evaluation that you will give. Second, the body. Be specific and give a concrete example. So you just do not just say you have a good intonation, or I think you need to improve on your pauses. Do not only mention the part, but give a concrete examples. So what is the suggestion? I think you need to add intentional pause. Because when you add pause, you can help the audience to concentrate to your speech. So show the examples. What are the areas of the excellence, areas of improvement, and also whether the speech or the project objectives are met. Last, of course, the conclusion, summary, the takeaways for all the listeners, and the encouragement. You can use summary. Some evaluator, I know, they summarize. So this is 2 things that you want to improve. This is 2 things that you want to edit. You did well. This is 2 things that you want to improve. Or there's also some evaluator that just close with a good quotes or a strong statement for all the listeners, or only an encouragement for the speaker. So it's actually up to you. But usually people use summary to close the evaluation. And the last part will be the balance, not more than 3 recommendations, and also pay attention to the time. So if you only have 2 to 3 minutes, please do not spend 2 minutes only for commendations part. Make sure you make enough time for the recommendation, and also to give the example for the conclusion itself. And part of the language, of course, positive, encouraging, supporting, motivating. Avoid using but or however or yet, and use a personal language like I heard, I noticed. That's all. We'll also see that you really pay attention. What is the exact phrase that the speaker has mentioned in the speech? What gesture that you notice in the speech? So mention that. Some also suggest to use the third person point of view or use name instead of you. But I'm also still practicing this. I just get very used to use you instead of the name, because why some speakers or why some evaluators use the third person point of view or name. So it can also be a lesson for all the listeners, not only for the speakers that this evaluator being evaluated. Use rhetorical devices also if you can. Simile, metaphor, analogy, alliteration. It also can elevate your evaluation. Last, delivery, of course, body language, tell and show. If your recommendation is about gesture, show it with your hand gestures. If your input or suggestion is about focal variety, then show it also when you deliver the evaluation. Okay, since it's read already, I know that's a lot of things that I share, but at least you pick 1 or 2 things that you can apply in your next evaluation. Be an evaluator, it's also a learning process, and still a lot of part that we need to exercise. Again, you also have your own style. My style, I really like to focus on the speech organization. I know my friend like to focus in a delivery. So, you can find your own style. And as a speaker, you know that the evaluation from other people is also only some part of of your speech itself. So find as much as feedback as you can from other people as well. So I hope it helps.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Amelia. Wow, it's a very insightful speech to all of us. We really learned from you, and it's a really helpful, especially for me, because I will have my evaluation session after this, maybe in the next 2 weeks, I hope. So it's a really like a good insight for me, and I believe to all of them, all of us here. I think that all of us have an experience where we want to deliver our evaluation, right? Okay, so without further ado, I think that everyone is asking for, now it's a time for the Q&A. So I would like to invite the first person who want to ask is Toastmaster Andika. Toastmaster Andika.
Thank you, Tom. Happy morning, Toastmaster Amelia. I really love your sharing. I think it's one of the exemplary material for Edu Speech. So I have two questions. First, it always bothers my mind that in Toastmaster International Base Camp, when they talk about being an evaluator or delivering evaluation speech, they say that don't suggest. So they say that avoid saying, I suggest you to do this, but I noticed that you do this. So what is your view of that statement? Like we need to avoid saying, I suggest you. That's the first question. The second one, I noticed that in many evaluation speech, we always say, it just like in just like a Toastmasters evaluation, there's always room for improvement, and then blah blah blah. Do you have any alternative how to open the area for improvement section in our evaluation report? Thank you.
Again, since I said that we can learn from each other, if you want to answer that question, it's really okay. It doesn't have to be me who answered that question. But I would like to suggest, I would like to answer from my point of view, especially about the word I suggest you. I don't know whether, since everyone here also can listen, which one that you think will be better. I suggest you to use more hand gestures, or in my opinion, my suggestion will be use more hand gestures. Which one that sounds better? I suggest you to use more hand gesture, or my suggestion will be use more hand gestures. The first or the second? Or the same?
Same.
Second.
Second? The same? Because sometimes the word I suggest you, it sounds like you force the speakers to do that. So I think that would be the point of view. So instead of saying I suggest you, that would be good that my suggestion will be, I think it will be sounds like you're not forcing the speakers to apply your suggestions. Again, I think it's, it's also based on your relation with the speaker itself. For me, the definition of effective, it means the speaker want to apply. So even though my evaluation would be very, nailed effort evaluation, all the points is actually there. But if the speaker, doesn't want to accept that and doesn't want to apply that, I don't think it will be effective. So that is why we need to also pay attention to the language that we use, because it's not about us, or it's not about the point that we want to just point it out, but we also want actually it become a useful gift for the speakers. So that's why we pay attention to the words as well. That would be my opinion. Again, it's open to all of you here. It's learning time together. If you have other opinion, and also you also can add, right? Toastmaster of the meeting, Vika.
Okay, great answer, Toastmaster Amelia. I hope that it's answer your question, Toastmaster Andika.
Yeah, I think there's a second questions before after that. What was the second question again?
Yes, I think it's the narrative, the narrative. Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually, I heard that just like in any other Toastmaster evaluation,
the transition to the recommendations, that right?
Right. So
yeah.
can you provide us examples or alternatives how to start the area for improvement section?
The alternative, well, I ever evaluate one speaker once. She said about feminism movement. So what I used to go into the recommendation at that time, so I used this word. I believe, I was so inspired by your speech, and I imagine you stand in the larger stage, inspired more women. This will be a suggestion and recommendation from my side that I think that it can make that your speech more inspiring. So yeah, things like that. We need to listen to a lot of evaluations so we can get ideas. So I put actually in that tips and trick. Go to a lot of meetings, listen to a lot of evaluation, how they go from one section to other sections. And sometimes, since we all are in the district 87, I will suggest you also to go to other district because all of us in Indonesia, especially, we almost have the same way to craft our evaluation or the speech. The words that we use to transition from the commendation to recommendation. I also noticed that. So also the conclusion, sometimes the summary is also used the same transition. So to conclude, this is my 2 commendation and 2 recommendation. So they usually always also use that as the transition. So yeah, you can also visit Robin. He also a member from other district. So it will give you idea if you go abroad, other district as well. I hope it helps.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Amelia. So for the next question will come from Toastmaster Yanda. Toastmaster Yanda, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fika and Toastmaster Amelia. It's a pleasure to have you here with us tonight. So I have one question: how to differentiate between voice tonality or vocal variety? And could you give a straight example about it? Thank you.
You mean like the aspect like pitch, pace, intonation, is that? Oh, yes. Okay. The most practical examples actually, it's not into the hard definitions of what is pitch, pace, or intonations, but what do you think? So this is what I'll suggest to you. If you are an evaluator, use all of your sense, especially feel the speech. In that way, you can give a better suggestions. So I'm not a fan of a difficult term. I always use a simple term. So instead of using like word pitch, I would say that I think if you speak like this, it will be more suiting for the audience. So it will be easier that way. So that will be the practical suggestion if you want to use that vocal variety part. But the definition itself, pitch is the high and the low. And pace is the speed of the speech, the speed of the speech. And for the intonation, it's actually it's the high and the low, but in the series of the speech, like the speaking itself. So you're not seeing only high and low tone, but how you make use of this high and low in the one whole speech. That would be the intonation. Yeah. So for me, since again, I'm actually more into speech organization instead of speech delivery. But so what I catch is whether it's easy to listen, whether it's, like can help us with the up and down of the emotion of the story itself. So I will just highlight that part.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Amelia.
Welcome. I hope it answered.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Amelia. Okay, I think that we still have time. We have 15 minutes and we still have time. So I see that, okay, from Toastmaster Dewey, you want to give a question? Over to you, Toastmaster Dewey.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fika. Hi, Toastmaster Amelia.
Hi, Toastmaster Dewey.
I want to ask you about an effective evaluation. Since you mentioned about effective evaluation is the possibility that the speaker will likely to apply it, how to choose the right aspect to improve? I know we cannot give one solution to any problems, right? So yeah, thank you.
Okay, so you mean what? Okay, so I will refer back to what I said before, that each evaluator usually has their own style or their own preference. Again, for me, I prefer or I really value the speech organization inside of the speech delivery. So when I heard a speech, the first thing that come to my mind is the organizations of the speech, whether it's in a logical flow. That would be the first thing that I notice. So that would be the first thing that I suggest. But I know that other persons really, pay attention to the delivery part. So that would be she or he way, his or her way of evaluating someone's. So first, it's okay to find your own style as an evaluator. So you don't have give a solutions for, like what you said before, one solution for all. You have to find your own evaluation style. And it's okay to give evaluation from your style. It doesn't have to be like everyone's style. And the second, if you notice a lot of points to improve from a speech, the speaker more likely will not apply if you give too many recommendations. So I will suggest one or two things that is the most important or the basic that you see. In the pathways, the first project, it's about icebreaker. If you see the form is speech organization. So I believe that actually the first thing, in order to make a good speech, the first thing is you have to have a good speech organization, at least opening, body, and conclusion. That will be the minimum. So what is the basic that he or she need to cover, the speaker need to cover, and then go from there. So do not tempted to give a lot of point of recommendation. Again, more likely the speaker will not apply. So just choose one or two things that you think it is the most important, the most basic skills that the speaker has to improve. Yeah. I hope it answers also. So it's okay, Dewey, if you can, give A or give B or give C. It's okay, because that will be also your style. So yeah. So find your style first and then give input to them. Yes, Vika, I'm done.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amelia.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Dewey, for your question. And that's really great. I think that we come up to the end of our Q&A session. But before that, I will have one last question for you, Toastmaster Amelia.
Okay.
I really words basically that actually as if you want to give an effective evaluation, it's actually not from us as an evaluator, but it should be when the person is implement our evaluation. So actually, how to make sure that they will implement it? I mean, like it's not depend on the evaluator itself, right?
Yeah,
so
I know. Yeah, I agree that it's actually the responsibility of the speaker. Of course, we here give the evaluation, and whether he or she wants to apply, it's up to them. But from my side, we also can, make more effort for it. For examples, you can get to know the speakers ahead. I know some evaluator also really try to know about the speaker that he or she will evaluate it and look at the evaluation form. And when I evaluate, I'm not only look at the evaluation form, but I will look the whole module itself. So I will, if I know that I need to, for example, especially if I have to evaluate special speech, like humorous speech, and I'm not a good humorous speaker. So what I will do is I will, when I accept the evaluation form, I will try to find the module, and I also learn from there. And I also listen some of good humorous speakers. So that will be the preparation from my side, and I will contact him or contact her ahead. And then after that, sometimes not all you can mention in front of everyone or in the public, right? Especially, something that I think if I mention it publicly, it will not, most likely he or she will not accept it. So I will try to talk after the session itself. And of course, again, you build relation with this person and try to give input. Therefore, actually, I think how to implement, in the second project of Pathways, you have to implement the evaluation, like what our first speakers did. Your second speech, you have to implement the evaluation from the previous speakers, right? That's actually a good way of doing something. In my club, I also usually, like assign someone, the role takers, to do the role in series. For example, today Agus is have a debut as and the WOD counter, and then after the meeting, general evaluator will give input for him, and this is in my club. Usually I will ask him to do the same role again next week, so he can apply the feedback that he got from the general evaluator from the last meeting. So that will be the most ideal thing. So I suggest you to apply for yourself first. So if you do that for your speech, you have a good evaluator that give you a good evaluation and you want to apply, ask him or ask her again to evaluate your next speech and whether you already nailed that part or not. So try it in yourself first, and later on you also can see how we can apply it to other speakers. I hope it answered Toastmaster Fika.
Yes, it's really insightful. Thank you, Toastmaster Amelia. Okay, so for the next session, I would like to invite Toastmaster Garda, our Mr. President, to give an appreciation to Toastmaster Amelia. Toastmaster Garda, screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fika. And once again, everyone, please give a round of applause to our educational speaker, Toastmaster Amelia, for such an insightful and very beneficial presentation regarding how to deliver a very tactful yet an effective evaluation, because I believe that just like what our speaker already addressed, that delivering or giving an evaluation is not only applicable here in Toastmasters, but in our daily life is something that can be applied on ourselves, something that can be very useful, but how to make it concise, but at the same time, how to make it not really attacking that the counterpart, right? And thank you so much, Toastmaster Amelia, for very thorough, and hopefully all of us here will be able to apply those valuable lessons in our life, including here in Toastmasters. And now on behalf of SCBD Toastmasters Club, I would like to present this token of appreciation by a certificate that thank you so much for your time and effort in attending our meeting today and sharing to all of us regarding how to deliver and craft an effective evaluation. Now, I would like to also take a screenshot of you with your certificate. I would like to remove myself first. Okay. Okay, I will give the count. Okay, the count of me. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, one more. Another pose maybe. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Thank you, Toastmaster Amelia, for time here. Okay, Toastmaster Fika, now give the control back to you.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Amelia, once again, and also to Toastmaster Garda. I think that the next is we want to take a picture. So for all of you who join this meeting, can you please turn on your camera because we want to take a photo session? Everyone, I encourage you to open your camera. Show me your beautiful faces. And Toastmaster Andika, are you ready to capture our picture?
I'm always ready for our group picture. So I'm gonna give you 5 more seconds. For those of you, Toastmaster Melanie, Toastmaster Gusti, guest Echo, guest Adelia, guest Ami. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open the door. So I'm going to take 3 poses. First pose, 1, 2, 3. Okay. One more. Second pose, 3, 2, 1. And the last one. Last pose, 3, 2, 1. Back to you, Tom.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Andika, and don't forget to tag me on Instagram. Okay, so for the next session, it's I can say it's a surprise session because we want to invite Toastmaster Dentia, and we will have a table topic. Okay, Toastmaster Dentia, are you ready for it?
Yes, of course. Thank you, Toastmaster Vika. So, happy morning, everyone. I know that it's not.
Good morning.
Thank you. I know that it's not in the agenda, but we still have plenty of time, so why not, right? And I can see we have many guests and visiting Toastmasters, so I would like to take this opportunity to invite them in the table topic session. What is a table topic session? It is a session where you will be able to pick any of this topic, and when you get the topic, you will be getting 1 to 2 minutes time to elaborate that into a speech. Yeah, it could be speech about anything, of course, related to this one. It could be your personal story, any fiction story, someone else's story, or even if you want to give us some advice or maybe some entertainment related to the topic, that's also fine. So the word of the day today is exemplary. I will expect the speakers to use the word of the day. To start this session, I will maybe pick the Toastmaster member so the guests can also see how it is. Yeah.
Do you want me to help you to choose the person? Or
yeah, I'm fine. It's fine. Maybe you can type. Someone can type if you want to be part of this session. You can type your name in the chat box. The first one, I would like to invite Toastmaster Robin Chan.
I thought you need to type your name first. Why
No,
you
the first one is special.
Oh my gosh.
Are you ready
No,
for this challenge?
no.
Okay, you want me to pick someone else first?
No, it's okay. Just go for it. What's the star one? Special.
The special one?
I don't know. Is it the special one?
Yes,
Okay,
it
let's
is.
go for the special one.
Okay, so this is your topic. This is actually a song from Billy Joel. If you look for truthfulness, you might just as well be blind because it always seems to be so hard to give. If you look for truthfulness, you might just as well be blind because it always seems to be so hard to give. Okay. Are you ready? One to 2 minutes. The word of the day is exemplar. Over to you.
Truth is something that is very hard to say, especially when you want to give it to your friend or anyone that you love, because the truth is not something always happy, but sometimes the truth hurts. So you want your friend or your siblings or someone you very close to you, someone that you love, to be able to change because you love them. And to tell the truth is also very hard for all of us because we do not want to hurt the other person, isn't it? Because the moment we open our mouth or we just send a text message, it's even worse for us sending a text message, because when you send a text message to tell the truth, you know how you send a text message? It's not one line. It's like you're writing an essay. You know, I have something to tell you. Can I be honest with you? And then you type a long essay. And for the other person, what happens is like, my friend is still typing ... And all in our mind is like, what the hell is my friend typing right now? So should we tell the truth? To me, it all depends on the situation. Sometimes on the situation itself, the truth can hurt. But do you want to hurt in a way that the person will change, or you tell the truth because you want the person's life to be destroyed completely. So think about it for a while, because I know the truth is very hard to say, but out of truthfulness, there's something really magical sometimes, because when you tell the truth in the right time, with the right person, I think you'll be able to open new doors for opportunity, because out of truthfulness, there's honesty, there's authenticity. And I believe that by telling the truth, you can open up new doors, because that person means that you're really honest to that person. And you do not want that person to stumble, but you want that person to learn out of it. So what about you, my friends? Do you want to tell the truth and make it something exemplary for that person? Over to you.
Excellent. Thank you for using the words of the day, by the way. But for me, saying the truth sometimes scary. You don't know how other people will react, right? But as you said, yes, if it's for their benefits, of course, I think we need to consider telling the truth. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Robin. Next, I think there is volunteer, Toastmaster Kevin.
Hello.
Hi. You can select the number.
3.
Number 3, yes. This is a quote from Therese Benedict. When you walk a life of honesty, you live a life of truth. When you walk a life of honesty, you live a life of truth. I think it's somehow related to the previous one. But yeah, it's your story to tell. 1 to 2 minutes. The word of the day is exemplary. Over to you, Toastmaster Kevin.
Okay. When you live a life of honesty, you live a life of truth. Yeah, I have no idea how to feel about that. An exemplary life is one that every one of us strives to be. We don't want to do bad things. We want to be helpful to other people, and we don't want to bother society. But that is harder than you think. I have no idea how to lead such a life. I have lied sometimes to my parents about me doing homework, or to my friends about going somewhere when I'm just at home sleeping. I cannot say I live an exemplary life. Even in church, I just sometimes watch my phone or sleep. Maybe both. I don't know how. I do know one thing. You don't need to force yourself to live a life of honesty, to live a life of truth. You don't have to. No one's forcing you to be truthful every time. You can lie. You cannot use that as an excuse, though, to hurt people with a lie. You need to at least balance out honesty and truth. Otherwise, you'll be too honest with your life, or you become someone who lies every day. And either way is going to be very, very tiring. That's all. Go back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Kevin. Or maybe to start with, we don't need to lie at all, right? So we anyway will tell the truth always. I don't know, it's just my opinion. Okay, thank you so much. The next is Toastmaster Yusuf.
Hi.
Hi, how
Good
are
morning.
you? Happy
All great.
morning. You can pick a topic or number.
Lucky number 7.
Oh, lucky number 7. Oops. Lucky number 7. Would you lie to save your relationship? This is just a question. The word of the day is exemplary. 1 to 2 minutes. The screen is yours.
Fellow Toastmaster and guests, lie, relationship. The question, this is a very exemplary question. It's a very fundamental question, a very philosophical question. Would you lie to save your relationship? Maybe before I answer, can I ask all of you, are you agree with this statement or not? You can put it in the chat. Are you going to lie for to save your relationship? I see some yes, no starts to coming, lie as needed only. Okay, now let me give you my answer. For me, it depends on the level of lie. There are some small lies, like for example, okay, I cannot think of any lie that are acceptable for me to save relationship, because for me, relationship has to be built from the truth. Once you lie, even though you save your relationship, it won't be a healthy relationship anymore, because one lie will lead to more lie, another lie, and piles of lie. So would you lie to save your relationship? No, because I know truth will save my relationship. Over to you, Toastmaster India.
Wow, impressive. I was surprised when you said there is a level of lie. I thought only chili paste has a level. Thank you so much. Interesting statement from you, Toastmaster Yusuf. I have a volunteer, a guest, of course. I will definitely call a guest first. Guest Echo. Is it Echo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for volunteering yourself. You can pick a number.
Okay, I would like to choose 8, the number 8.
Number 8.
Yeah, thank you.
This is your topic. A lie
Thank
is a
you.
lie. Even white lie is still a lie.
Yeah,
A
thank
lie
you.
is a lie. Even white lie is still a lie.
Even
1 to 2
white
minutes.
lie.
Yes.
Okay. I think thank you, table topic master. It's a good question. Love is a lie. Even the white lie is a lie. I think it seems very hard to avoiding lying in daily life. For example, in my family, sometimes for the children, we have to say lie, but even it's a white lie. But if a white lie is a benefit to the children, I think that is okay. Because children always very noisy, and sometimes they make the parents very hard to advise they something. So sometimes I try to use some exemplary to show them what kind of things they shouldn't do it, and finally and definitely it's they have the good behavior. I think so it's good. And for talking about in the office, it's also very critical important. For example, some customer, they are so tough to deal with them. So in sometimes the boss guide us. Sometimes we have to use the white lie and eventually we can gain the business, or maybe we can solve the top problem. So in the office, I think it's especially very important that how to solve the problem with the customer, or even in the colleague in the office. We also need to learn how to use the white lie. I think it's good if we don't harm or hurt other person. Sometimes the white lie is a good exemplary to deal with the people in our daily life. It's my opinion. Thank you. Back to our table topic master. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Guest Echo. It's interesting opinion. Well, I also agree to some extent, especially if you're working in the hospitality industry. You need a white lie sometimes to buy you a time and solve the problem. I guess, yeah, I agree with you in that case. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. The last speaker will be our president, Toastmaster Garda.
Hello, Toastmaster Dentia.
Hello. Pick a number.
Number 9.
Number 9, sure.
Yes.
Let me get you your question. Half the truth is often a great lie. This is from Benjamin Franklin. Half the truth is often a great lie. Are you ready? 1 to 2 minutes. The word of the day is exemplary.
Okay.
The screen is yours.
Oh, then, the timer. Okay, Toastmaster Yanda. With all due respect, Mr. Benjamin Franklin, I have to disagree with your statement. In my personal opinion, having a lie is not as equal to telling the truth, even if it's just for a half truth. Sometimes we as humans tend to give an excuse whenever we want to cover or maybe want to hide something for the sake of the benefits for both parties. But then again, at the very age that telling the lie itself, having a sense of telling a lie, it would also serve as something that can be repetitive in the long run. For example, when someone is telling a lie in, maybe we are telling lies to our parents, for example. Let's say we are given 100,000 rupiahs and we buy something for cash for 50,000 rupiahs. But we only have to return, to give in return for half of it, which is a quarter. And I would say that, yes, we save that 25,000 rupiahs, even if that maybe I would save it or I would donate it to other people. But I would tell my mom that, oh no, this cost 75,000 rupiahs. It is half the truth by telling the lies. But then again, in the long run, I will think of what will be the implications as well as the ramifications on me. I would not say that this would be the best act to cover something up, but at the same time, I would also think what would be the best exemplary action for me to be applied on myself. Because if I always cover my action with something that is considered as the half truth, think about what will be the action that might be automatically applied on ourselves just because we are getting used to that half truth. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we are telling sort of the lies, half truth, think about what will be the long run and what will be the future implications of what we have done at present day, because that would make and define us as humans. And also it will also be served as our subconscious actions. So think about it, and yes, telling the truth is always better, even if it's the hurtful ones. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
All right, excellent. So it doesn't matter, right, what you're going to say, truth, lie, whatever it is. Just be mindful, or yeah, you be aware of the consequences. I think that's the message that I'm getting. Thank you so much for sharing that, Toastmaster Garda. And due to time constraint, this is the last speaker for table topic in this session. We have 5 amazing speakers today: Toastmaster Robin, Toastmaster Kevin, Toastmaster Yusuf, Guest Echo, Toastmaster Garda. And timer, may I know, are they eligible to be voted?
Just a minute, I'm still typing it.
Sure. So timer can type in the time report in the chat box, and ballot counter, you can then share the link as well in the chat box. And everyone, I think that's conclude my session. Now, this is the impromptu one because we are doing table topics. Yes. So I give the control back to the Toastmasters of the meeting. Toastmaster Vika, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dentia, for the impromptu table topic session. It's really great. I won't lie that you guys are really amazing on giving the opinion about this lie. Okay, so for the next step, I think that I would like to, I think that Toastmaster Yanda already shared for the timer, and I think that after this, Toastmaster Andika will send the link for the voting. Please vote. And after this, I would like to invite the Madam GE to give us the evaluation. And before that, I would like to invite the Toastmaster Alvin to give evaluation for the first speaker. Toastmaster Alvin, the screen is yours.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Vika. Happy morning, everyone.
Happy morning.
Good morning.
Morning, happy. Thank you. Today, Toastmaster Adam delivered his speech. I feel slapped in the face. He talks about gratification. And one gratification I've done much is scrolling on Instagram. How I feel when I scroll down, I feel the refresh, or I see the like button, the direct message button. I feel the gratification. Not only I eat the gratification on time, I do it in advance. So just scrolling and scrolling, and when the time is not great, I do it. And what I learned from Toastmaster Adam today is very great speech. The message is clear. The title is clear. Delayed gratification. He delivered the message start with a story that there are a group of child put in a room, a marshmallow. If you eat it, you will get just that. And if you don't, you will get double if you can stay patient. Then Toastmaster Adam also showed that how the event translate to future success. The child who delayed the gratification will get more grades, better response to stress, and etc. And he is not only speaking, he already applied it about delayed gratification, which is also scrolling on Instagram, and already accept the benefit. And now, what is the strength or what I like about Toastmaster Adam? Number one is he smiles a lot. He smile. And what I feel when he smiles, I feel relaxed. I feel joy, and I feel connect better to his speech. And then the eye contact is steady. He look into the camera, very consistent. It's also trouble with me to look steady on the camera, but he did great on that job. And then he put a call to action on the last. What is your what gratification will you delay? That the speech is with a purpose. Start with inspiring story and with a call to action. And what things Toastmaster Adam can improve? The first is the hand gesture. It looks like Toastmaster Adam putting a hand gesture, but the hand is under the camera. So I couldn't see Toastmaster Adam hands, but it looks like Toastmaster Adam doing something apa on the lower on the camera, but I couldn't see it. I encourage you to put more hands on your camera and make sure you see the feedback on the camera. And the second is the more expression. So you can put the happy face or the sad face for the child that don't get the benefit for eat the marshmallow instantly. And then one challenge that I can encourage you to do is interact with audience, because your speech is really inspirational. That really benefit me, because I see that some people answering to your speech. You can notice it by calling, some people say Instagram, some people say this or say that. And what can you get from that? The audience will feel connect to you, and then they will feel more heard and happy to not only just listen to your speech, but apply your speech to their daily life. Okay, and to conclude is, I really like Toastmaster Adam's speech today. He start with story, what inspiring story, and then he deliver how to solve the problem, how to delay gratification, and how he get benefit from that just only from delaying the scrolling Instagrams. And that really inspire us is he finished it with call to action, which is, what gratification will you delay? And he starts small, encourage us to start small. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alvin. I think that I would like to give the control to Toastmaster Hani as the Madam GE. Over to you, Toastmaster Hani.
Thank you, Tom. So here, after we learn about the evaluation, and Toastmaster Alvin really give the constructive feedback to our speaker tonight. So I want to encourage to all of you, since Toastmaster Andika as a ballot counter already put a link in the chat box, please use your vote to the table topic speaker tonight. I think we have time to vote. To the silent vote. 1 minute. Toastmaster Yanda, please count the timer. 1 minute to vote. Okay. I think yes. Since we waiting to all of the vote is already covered, I will move to my team general evaluation is start from grammarian report. Our grammar report is Toastmaster Wira. Toastmaster Wira, the report is already.
Yep.
Okay, I will send back to you, Toastmaster Wira.
Okay, thank you, Madam GE. Hello, everybody. Now we go to the grammarian section. Let us go to this. Let's share. Is it visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah. Surprisingly, surprisingly, there are not a lot of grammatical errors and there are not a lot of word mispronunciation. Probably only one. Let us see this one first. Okay. Everybody can unmute themselves and pronounce properly. How to pronounce this word?
Event.
Event.
Event. All right.
Event.
All right. That's all the mispronunciation. Only one. Now we go to the quotes. First one: delayed gratification is important for success in life. Toastmaster Adam. From Toastmaster Amelia, evaluation is about how to help the speaker and give value. Also from Toastmaster Amelia, being an evaluator is a learning process. Now we go to Toastmaster Robin. Out of truthfulness, there is something magical. There is authenticity. And finally, there is a level for lying. So yeah, that's all from me. Back to you, GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Wira, for the insightful report. We learned about some of quotes tonight. And so I will move to the AW audio report. Toastmaster Agus.
Hi.
Okay.
I will share my
yes.
screen.
Yeah, okay. Screen is yours.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
So
yes,
I will try to make the screen, make the slide in full screen. So is it visible as a full screen of slide?
Not yet.
Nothing changed. Oh, I guess it. I think it is the compatibility of my laptop. So I will change it back to the. Okay, I will just scroll down manually. Okay, is that okay?
Yes, please.
All right, everyone. So this is my time as the WOD counter for tonight's meeting. So before I jump into the to sharing the reports, the full reports of my observation of your usage of filler words, filler sounds, and long pauses, I would like to have my own Hall of Fame before jumping into the sharing the reports. So I would like first to congratulate Toastmaster Dentia for making the list filler sound, words, and pauses. Yay! You know, because it was the table topic session was a change in the agenda for at the very last minutes, and I think you managed to keep your filler words, your fillers at the minimum number. So congratulations for that. Next, I would like to congratulate guest Echo for mentioning word of the day 2 times. Yay!
Yay!
Yeah.
Congratulations!
Yeah, while some other managed to only mention word of the day once, like Toastmaster Andika, Toastmaster Amelia, Toastmaster Garda, etc. And last but not least, I would like to congratulate as the favorite filler of tonight's meeting for being mentioned at least 30 times. Yay, congratulations.
Congratulations,
Congratulations. Yeah. So now I would like to yay. Yeah. So for those who hasn't managed to get your name into my Hall of Fame, please don't belittle yourself. Please don't be undermined by that, because we are all here learning together, and even if you make many filler sounds, don't think of it as a mistake. Yeah, maybe it is a mistake, but by being aware of that mistake, I think it is your first step to become a better speaker, right? So now let's move to the reports. As you can see, the role takers. Oh, I will have to erase myself because I am not aware of how many filler words I've used. Oh no, oh, okay, just ignore my name in that. So Toastmaster Vika, Toastmaster Hani, Toastmaster Wira, Toastmaster Yenda, Toastmaster Andika, and Toastmaster Dentia, please take a look at the statistics. Yeah, and yeah, congratulations for everyone for, I know every one of you are trying to avoid using the fillers, but sometimes it is uncontrollable, right? When you're on stage and when you're trying to remember what you are going to say next, you sometimes tend to use the filler words. But by the time, you will learn through it, and you will grow from it. So maybe someday you will use less and less and less filler words. And next, for the speakers here, yeah, I think I noticed many speakers are using repeated words when they are not confident about what they are trying to say. I think, yeah, it is sometimes you can control it, right? And last but not least, for the evaluators, Toastmaster Alvin, here's your statistic. I guess, yeah, that concludes my reports for tonight's meeting. I will give this control back to you, GA Toastmaster Hani. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Agus. I was surprised that you, the first time as a RWOD concert, you have a new insightful report tonight. So let me share my screen. I will move to the evaluation sessions. Okay, is that visible?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, this the last, I will give the general evaluation report. Start from meeting evaluation. The meeting starts on time on 7 p.m. I would say to appreciate to all of the team tonight, and as AA opening and already checked the role takers, and so we have the complete the role takers tonight. And the decision today is very insightful. We can learn of tonight, and yes, as the in evolution, and we a new lesson. And the fourth is we have I would say to appreciate we have a surprise session of a table topic that it will be the interested topic tonight. Thank you, our table topic master. And the oral role of takers, I will say you are a great job. I'm happy today, and congratulations for all of you. And first, as a Tom, you have an energetic Tom tonight. So we during the session we got the 5s, and our timer and bullet counter is very responsive to give the report in the chat box, and to encourage all of participants to vote. And the fourth is insightful report from Gamarian. We have a lot of quotes of the day. And the fourth is, I would say, the first look report from RW Audit Counter tonight. This is the insightful new one to make the details report and be a good listening tonight. So I think there is all from me as a general evaluation report, and I will send back to Tom. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Madam GE. It's a very insightful report also. And oh, I really like how Toastmaster Agus delivered the RWOD, right? It's a new one from us. Okay, so before we end our session, I would like to close before I give it to Toastmaster Andika to announce who is the best table topic speaker. I would like to close this session with a quote. Okay, this is actually related to the evaluation. So the natural response to evaluation is actually to feel judged. Sometimes when we got an evaluation, we feel that we are judged, like what Toastmaster Amelia mentioned today. But we have to mature enough to a place where we respond to it with gratitude and love the feedback exemplary. I think that's to close our meeting today. I really like our session today. There's a lot of insight, new insights for me, knowledge, and also the lot of new things that we got. Okay, now so before we close, I would like to invite Toastmaster Andika to announce who is the best topic speaker today.
Thank you, Tom. So everyone, as I mentioned before in the beginning of the meeting, we strive for progress here in SCBD Toastmasters Club. So every effort deserves a recognition. So we have seen the best speakers that have been exemplary tonight. So I would like to show you who are the most favorite speakers. First of all, it's automatically, we know that our most favorite prepared speaker is Toastmaster Adam. Congratulations, Toastmaster Adam.
Auto in.
Okay, and next one, we also know that our most favorite evaluator is Toastmaster Alvin. Congratulations, Toastmaster Alvin. Now, this is moment of truth because we have not seen the result. So who will be our most favorite table topic speaker? Drum roll. The answer is, the Oscar goes to Toastmaster Yusuf. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
So Toastmaster Yusuf, Toastmaster Alvin, and also Toastmaster Adam, you have set an exemplary speech today. And also for others, if you would like to join our meeting or do you have any questions about Toastmasters International or SCBD Toastmasters Club, you can contact our VP membership, who is Melanie Rivera. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Andika and Toastmaster Fika. I hope that the control has been ended over, yeah? Thank you so much, Toastmaster Fika, for being Tom. But before that, I would like to ask everyone to unmute yourself and give congratulations and give a round of applause to all role takers, speakers, evaluators. Toastmaster Fika, thank you so much for being Tom. And congratulations, Toastmaster Agus, for your debut as RNWOD counter. That was really, Toastmaster Dwi said that her cheek, what is it? The hurt cheek. I got the joke. Your cheek was hurt, but then my jaw, I think it was a bit cramped. When I couldn't contain the laughter with the Hall of Fame of But thank you so much, and thank you to Toastmaster Hani, Toastmaster Wira, Toastmaster Yanda, Toastmaster Andika, as well as to the speakers, Toastmaster Adam and Toastmaster Alvin. Congratulations, and once again, kudos to all of you. And now I would like to hear some euphonious voices from our guests in particular. Is guest Echo still here?
Yeah, here. Yeah, sorry. Just now I got a call, a home call, so I leave a short time. Yeah, thank you. I'm Echo.
Echo, hi Echo.
Yeah, I'm very sorry. My video not working today, so I couldn't turn on my video. Sorry. And I'm very grateful and thankful very, very wonderful and enjoyable meeting. The whole session is very insightful, meaningful to me. I learned a lot from each of you, and especially the evaluation session and the speaker and the all session. I like it very much, and I do hope I can come to join again in the future. Thank you so much to our presenter. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Echo, for coming. It is also our pleasure for having you here. May I ask, are you from
Yeah,
Indonesia?
I'm from the Kaohsiung, the southern of Taiwan. Yeah.
Oh,
Do you know?
from Taiwan.
Hey, you heard that? Have you been here there? Kaohsiung.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I noticed it in the southern part of
Yeah,
Taiwan.
yeah.
Well, but I've never been there. I would love to go there once everything is settled with the travel restriction and stuff. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming.
Okay, welcome everyone. Come to here, then I will entertainment to each of you. Entertain to each of you. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a very lovely and very
Yeah.
beautiful.
I'm so happy to be here in this evening time. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Echo. Hope to see you again soon in our meeting next Friday. And lastly, I would like to ask, we have a recurring guest here, Amelia. Hi, Amelia. You're still muted, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Hi, how are you?
Great. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I remembered last time you have attended our meeting.
Sounds well. Could you hear me? Yes, sorry. Could you repeat again?
Yes, I do remember the last time you attended our meeting here, and thank you so much for coming. So, how do you find our meeting today? And perhaps you could provide one word to express about your experience today. What would it be?
Oh, actually, yeah, this is the second time I come to the Toastmaster meeting. And actually, I've been joined to the Toastmaster Plaza Mandiri, but it's already closed. And I really miss the vibes of the Toastmaster, and joining again after 2 or 3 years, I feel the positive vibes, and it really motivates me to giving a speech in the Toastmaster. So yeah, I don't want to lose my English, and thank God it's pandemic, so I can join the Toastmaster online. So there's always blessing in disguise, right? So yeah, hopefully I will what do I say? Hopefully I could giving a speech one day and join the Toastmaster as a member. Thank you.
Awesome. That's also the spirit I would like to hear from our guests here in Toastmasters. Should you need any assistance regarding Toastmasters International or SCBD Toastmasters, feel free to contact us, and we can assist you from that, particularly when you have sort of the desire to apply for the membership here in SCBD Toastmasters. But once again, thank you so much for coming, Amelia, and looking forward to seeing you again next week, perhaps, so that we would be able to hear you participating in our table topics.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Amelia. That is all. And for all visiting members, thank you so much for coming to SCBD Toastmasters today. You may also market and promote your club schedule into the chat box so that we will be able to attend your meeting in the upcoming weeks, so that not only us here, you attending SCBD Toastmasters, but also we will be able to attend your club as well. And that is all, I believe. I hope that I don't miss anything else. And for those of you, all guests and visiting members, feel free to stay in the room, because here in SCBD Toastmasters, we always open the room until late evening so that everyone can also jump in for any casual conversation, including the inquiries regarding Toastmasters International, so that you can also throw as many questions as you wish so that we can also address your inquiry accordingly. I think that is all. And now with the power vested in me, I hereby adjourn this meeting by clapping my hands thrice. That's the sound, and happy weekend, everyone.
Happy weekend.
Happy weekend.